So I'm James Allen with the news, obviously, that McLaren has decided to pull out of the 2020 Australian Grand Prix following a team member testing positive for coronavirus, joined by the GP Racing editor Ben Anderson and executive editor Stuart Codling and former Ferrari race engineer Rodi Basso. Gentlemen, obviously things moving very quickly, but for the moment, a very serious situation, McLaren pulling out of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, a very fast-moving situation, this. We talk about Formula One being, the fastest sport in the world, but there's a feeling that it's been maybe outmanoeuvred by events. Going to Melbourne, wanting the race to go ahead, which is, noble in itself. But this virus is shutting down entire countries. It's shutting down the world economy. Global sporting events are being cancelled. In quick succession. I get the feeling Formula One was kind of waiting to see if it could almost shut this virus out and keep its kind of travelling circus in the bubble. But now there's this first positive test. I imagine we'll see perhaps a domino effect, and I'd be very, very surprised if the Grand Prix now happens as planned.
Roddy?
Well, I agree. I would be surprised if Melbourne is going to start the race weekend now. Of course, the decision from McLaren was very brave, but in the meantime, for the teams, it's very important to take care of your people, invest in your people, and make sure they work in the best possible environment with no risk, starting from the driver to all the team. And so I just see this as a very ethical decision. And I completely agree. I think there will be other teams joining.
Well, Lewis Hamilton was very outspoken in the drivers' press conference in Melbourne, saying he couldn't believe, frankly, that this was going ahead. Ross Brawn as well had said before the weekend that if there is a race without one of the teams, it won't count for the World Championship. How do you see this one unfolding, Stuart?
Would be interesting to see a non-championship Formula One race for the first time since the early 80s, I think. Was it the 1981 South African Grand Prix? Got struck off the record after the fact. So there is precedent for it. Whether there's a competitive appetite for it among the other competitors, who knows? There'll be a lot of people who've been waiting for leadership from Formula One and the FIA and haven't seen that sort of leadership, who'll now look at what McLaren have done and think, well, actually, maybe we should be safeguarding our employees as well.
Well, the cars are due to hit the track in Albert Park for Friday free practice in a few hours' time. Obviously, the situation moving very quickly, and we'll keep you updated.